I don't know about you guys, but on multiple different platforms, I've been seeing talk about the vagus nerve pop up quite a bit. So I figured, hey, why not dig into this stuff? Because I'm aware of the vagus nerve, just not exactly knowing specifically what they're talking about when it comes to tapping into your vagus nerve. And because it involves physical performance and improving that, I figure might as well deliver the information straight to everyone out there. Do you know what group of people studies and applied practices based on the intricacies of the nervous system? Athletes. Athletes, especially professional and elite athletes who are at the forefront of biohacking, are quite curious and knowledgeable about improving their vagal tone. Vagal tone refers to the activity of the vagus nerve. Thanks, Tips. Very, very good insight that you provided for us right there. This nerve is the key element to the parasympathetic nervous system. That is the rest and digest system, the one that you want engaged most of the time. Well, it is by default, right? But you have to be spurned into the fight or flight system. But anyways, it is the counter to the sympathetic nervous system. There it is, responsible for the fight or flight state. Yeah, no, exactly. That's a highly stressful, very damaging system to your body if it's engaged long term. So yes, exactly. You would rather be in the rest and digest recovery stage as opposed to the highly attuned, highly aware situation when you've activated your sympathetic nervous system. Goes as to say. Vagal tone is measured through different things it affects, such as heart rate variability. Slower heart rate and a greater heart rate variability indicate a healthier vagal tone. This sounds so sexual. And a better functioning vagus nerve. Your vagus nerve affects many other systems and functions in the body. You can switch into fight or flight state and then back into the rest and digest state quickly. That's good. Oh, that's good. It means that your body can gear up and deal with a threat and gear down and maintain itself. It means that you can get in and out of stress state effectively. How quickly someone bounces back after stress and enters relaxation through the parasympathetic nervous system is believed to be a factor in athletic performance. Yes, no, exactly. You can kind of theorize this in your mind, okay? Just think, okay? If you're new to exercise, and I'd imagine everybody's probably experienced this at one point or another, how long does it take for you to get overwhelmed by exercise? Okay, you just immediately go from a dead stop. Even if you're warming up properly, you're doing all of the hack stretches, which static stretching at the beginning of your exercise routine probably isn't the best for you, but I think we've probably broken that down before on the channel, but even still, just a little tip out there. Static stretching when you're just getting into an exercise routine, not the best thing for you. Dynamic stretches, okay, just a slow and gradual increase is much better. But anyways, still, okay, you get into your exercise phase, and then you get winded right away, and then right when you're done, and then you're huffing and puffing, and then you're just, I need a drink of water. Oh, I'm just completely winded at the end of it. Okay, that is what they're referring to here, okay, in athletic performance. Switching between the parasympathetic and the sympathetic nervous system, you go from a dead stop, you go to exercising, and then your cool down phase. How long does that take? How long does it take you from being in the triple digits of heart rate and then just start to come down a little bit closer to your resting heart rate? Now, if you have a resting heart rate in the triple digits, well, you should probably talk if you're of a certain age, because the younger you are, the higher your resting heart rate is, and then the older you get, it starts to decline. But an average person has a resting heart rate of about 60 beats per minute, but you can get it down, and mine bounces in on or around 48 to 50, depending on a multitude of criteria. But even still, not about me. Get back to the facts. What this means as an ordinary person is that by using the same strategies, I could improve my response to my own stressors, which are not nearly as extreme as someone pushing their body to the very limit in a high-stakes competition with thousands watching, or running an ultra marathon. Bet you didn't know that there were ultra marathons that are out there. Would you like to run 100 miles? Yeah, no, exactly. Some of them in the dead heat of the Arizona sun in Death Valley. It's amazing stuff. Anyways, Oh, we can learn from experts in these disciplines how to improve our own mental health in ways that influence our physical healing. Bouncing back after a collective trauma of the pandemic is likely going to require additional tools to help cope with anxiety, as well as we work through our individual and collective fears and triggers, some that are just surfacing and others that are persisting. Okay, there are a lot of agreements about tips and techniques that can improve vagal tone and bring the various systems into balance. Much of that centers around heart rate variability. Yes, exactly. Just because you have a low resting heart rate, okay, doesn't mean jack if there isn't much maneuverability that's out there, okay? If you can't push it all the way to the limit and then drop it back down in a reasonable amount of time, if you don't have that flexibility that's there, your heart might be a little bit busted. But anyways, still, the more heart rate variability a person has, the more adaptable they are to being better they are to recover from stress, generally speaking. Heart rate of 60 beats per minute suggests 1 beat per second. Yeah, that's your general heart rate. Or that's an average person's heart rate. Okay, you do just a tiny bit of exercise, you'll be below 60. You eat properly, you'll be below 60, and that's good. Okay, that means how efficient your heart is at supplying oxygen and blood to the different organs within your body. That's basically why you'd want a lower heart rate. Okay. Healthy heart isn't necessarily a consistent one. Rather, a heart that reacts and recovers from stressors quickly, causing varying rates, is considered healthiest. When there are high heart rate variability scores come from, and they indicate longevity, resilience, fitness, and even strong mental health. Low HRV scores correspond with inflammation and a risk of chronic disease. Heart rate variability and the vagus nerve are linked because the 10th cranial nerve helps the heart function, as well as the digestive organs, starting with the throat. That's why if you get everything complete holistic health all together, that's why you can adjust your resting heart rate. It is also involved in breathing as it wanders throughout the torso as a long communication highway between the organs and the brain. Using the breath to slow the heart rate is one of the many techniques that involve the vagus nerve. One study, Leah Lagos, a licensed clinical psychologist and the author of Heart, Brain, Health, and Mind, participated in heart rate variability biofeedback as a strategy for dealing with competitive anxiety. A case study published in Biofeedback in 2008 followed a 14-year-old golfer, who received only biofeedback training leading up to a competition and no golf instruction. In addition to a once-a-week session of breathing exercises and HRV measurements over 10 weeks, he also did sessions at home for 20 minutes twice a day. Data suggests that may have enhanced his ability to cope with stress and improve his performance as an automatic regulation normalized. Interesting. Autonomic, not automatic. We need to have sensible regulation when it comes to coping strategies out there, so no more automatic regulation. Anyways, so how can you accomplish this? Enough background on all this stuff. 6 ways to improve vagal tone. Again, this sounds just so dirty. But anyways, here are some other specific suggestions from experts to help you improve your ability to gear down and rest and digest state for overall better health. Join a community. What? I thought we were talking about exercise and diet. Being in a support group is an easy way to soothe anxiety, according to National Institute of Clinical Application of Behavioral Medicine. Simply talking about symptoms and understanding your own trauma responses are normal within the context of what you have experienced can offer relief. There are basic things you can do to improve vagal tone, such as eating healthy, getting adequate sleep, drinking enough water, meditating, and doing other exercises. Wanted to get that out of the way to begin with. Audible exhales. Joanne Good Mason. That sounds very conspiratorial. Founder of Live Free Training suggests adding a sigh, humming, or singing to the exhale to enhance the parasympathetic effect of breathing. Okay, so be a weirdo or just sing in the shower like normal people. Add eye movement to breath. What? take deep, long breaths while alerting, bringing a gaze all the way up to the left and then to the right. Yeah, so just always, but again, if you're going to be focusing on breathing, normally that corresponds with doing different, meditative practices as well. So you don't really want to be focusing on your eye movement, but I guess you could do that in conjunction as well. They are the quote unquote experts after all, so I guess you could add eye movement to that. Interesting. Loving kindness, God, yeah, exactly. Consistent yoga, yeah, I'd recommend that as well. Now, one study found that 10 weeks of yoga practice significantly reduced the PTSD symptoms. Now we're just adding in extra stuff, okay, of patients who have failed to respond to any medication or any other treatment. Well, that's pretty cool. And finally, number 6, any activity mindfully. Yeah, exactly. Live in the moment. Don't think about extra stresses, blah, blah, blah. That same old nonsense. Approaching your body as an ally, rather than your enemy, is a good first step in noticing the effects of anxiety and trauma. Integrating mind and body can foster a grace-filled empathy. Yeah, that's all nice. Heart rate variability is exactly what's important. So eat properly, exercise enough, get proper sleep, and then also just, do some meditation and some yoga, and then you'll have a better ability to shift between your parasympathetic and your sympathetic nervous system. That is what is important. So if you see more of these vagal tone articles pop up on different outlets, that's what they're talking about here. Nice little overview, so hopefully that helps some people out there. With all of that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.